A champion arm wrestler named Marcus, famous for never losing, must face the slow loss of his strength after an injury and learns that real strength was never only in his arms. Marcus Cole had strong arms. Everyone in town knew this. For 10 years, he won every arm wrestling match at the county fair. People came from other towns just to watch him win. They called him the Wall because no one could move his arm, not even 1 inch. Marcus loved this name. He loved the feeling of winning. Every summer, he trained hard. He lifted weights in his garage every morning before work. His wife, Dana, would bring him coffee and watch him train. "You don't have to win again this year," Dana said one morning. "You've already won for 10 years. Marcus smiled and lifted another weight. "I know," he said, "but I want to." That summer, something new happened. A young man named Thomas came to the fair. Thomas was tall and quiet. He didn't smile much, but when he sat down at the arm wrestling table, people got quiet too. Something about his eyes said he wasn't afraid. Marcus sat across from him. He held out his hand the same way he always did. "Good luck," Marcus said, the way he always said it. Thomas didn't answer. He just took Marcus's hand. The judge counted. 3, 2, 1, go. For the first time in 10 years, Marcus felt his arm move. Not much, just a little, but he felt it. His face turned red. His arm shook. The crowd went silent. Thomas pushed harder. And then, slowly, Marcus's hand touched the table. The wall had fallen. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't boo either. They just stood there, quiet, watching something they had never seen before. Marcus stood up. His hand was shaking, but not from the match. It was shaking because something inside him had shaken too. "Good match," Thomas said quietly and walked away. Marcus looked at his own hand. It looked the same as always, but it didn't feel the same at all. That night, Marcus didn't sleep well. He kept thinking about the match. He kept seeing his hand touch the table again and again, like a movie that wouldn't stop playing. The next morning, he went to the garage like always. But this time, when he picked up the weights, his arm hurt. Not just tired. It hurt in a sharp, deep way. He went to the doctor that week. The doctor looked at his arm for a long time. "You have an old injury here," the doctor said. "In your shoulder. It's been getting worse for years. You probably didn't feel it because your muscles were so strong. They were hiding the problem. Can you fix it?" Marcus asked. The doctor shook his head slowly. "I can help with the pain, but your arm will never be as strong as it was." "I'm sorry, Marcus." Marcus didn't say anything. He just nodded and went home. For weeks after that, Marcus stopped training. He stopped going to the garage in the morning. Dana noticed, but she didn't say anything at first. She just made his coffee and sat with him quietly. One evening, Marcus sat outside, looking at his hands. Dana came and sat next to him. "I don't know who I am if I'm not the Wall," Marcus said quietly. "That's all people know about me. That's all I know about me." Dana took his hand, the same hand that used to win every match. "I didn't marry the Wall," she said. "I married you. The man who gets up early because he loves mornings. The man who talks to every child at the fair, even when he's tired. The man who cried at our wedding, remember? The Wall doesn't cry." Marcus almost laughed. "I forgot about that." "I didn't," Dana said. Marcus looked down at his hands again. They looked weak to him now, but for the first time, he wondered if that word weak was even the right one. A few days later, he saw a young boy at the fairground alone, trying to lift a heavy box onto a table. The boy was small, maybe 10 years old. He was struggling, his face red with effort, but he wouldn't ask for help. Marcus walked over slowly and lifted one side of the box with his good arm. "Let's do it together," he said. The boy looked up at him, surprised. "You're Marcus Cole, the Wall." Marcus paused. "I'm Marcus," he said. Just Marcus. The boy's name was Eli. He came to the fairground almost every day that summer, helping his uncle set up tables and chairs for the vendors. Marcus started coming too, not to train, but just to walk around, to feel useful in small ways. One afternoon, Eli sat down next to Marcus on a bench. "Are you sad?" Eli asked. "Because you lost?" Marcus thought about lying, but something about the boy's honest face made him want to tell the truth instead. "A little," Marcus said, "but not because I lost the match. I'm sad because I thought winning was the only thing people liked about me. Now I don't know what's left." Eli thought about this for a moment. "My dad lost his job last year," he said. He thought that meant he wasn't a good dad anymore, but he's still the same dad. He still reads to me every night. He still makes bad jokes. Eli smiled a little. I don't love him because of his job. I love him because he's him. Marcus looked at this small boy, saying something so simple and so true. He felt something loosen in his chest, like a rope that had been pulled tight for a long time. You're very smart for 10 years old, Marcus said. I'm 11, Eli said. And they both laughed. That night, Marcus went home and found Dana in the kitchen. He didn't say anything at first. He just hugged her, long and quiet. What happened? Dana asked, surprised. A kid taught me something today, Marcus said. I've been so afraid of being nobody. But maybe I was never the wall at all. Maybe that was just a name people gave to my arm. The real me was always here, doing other things. Talking to kids. Getting up early. Loving you. Dana smiled, and there were tears in her eyes. I've been waiting years for you to see that. The next week, the fair held its final event of the summer, a small dinner for everyone who helped that season. Thomas, the young man who had beaten Marcus, was there too. Marcus walked over to him. I wanted to thank you, Marcus said. Thomas looked confused. For beating you? For showing me I was more than my arm, Marcus said. It took losing to see it. Thomas nodded slowly, like he understood something about that himself. The next summer, Marcus came back to the fair. People expected to see him at the arm wrestling table, ready to fight for his title again. Instead, they found him somewhere else. He was at a small table near the entrance, teaching kids simple exercises, showing them how to warm up before games, laughing with them when they fell over trying. Eli was there too, helping him now, showing the younger kids what to do. Someone asked him, aren't you going to try to win back your title? Marcus smiled and shook his head. I already found something better than winning, he said. I found out who I am when I'm not trying to prove anything. Thomas came by that day too. He watched Marcus with the children for a while, then walked over. You look happy, Thomas said. I am, Marcus said. Are you still undefeated? Thomas shrugged. For now. But everyone falls eventually. I think you already knew that before I did, Marcus nodded. The strongest fall the hardest, he said quietly. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe falling is just how we find out what's really holding us up. That evening, Marcus sat with Dana on their porch, watching the sun go down. His arms still hurt sometimes. He would never lift as much as he used to. But he felt lighter than he had in years. Do you miss it? Dana asked. Being the wall? Marcus thought about it honestly. Sometimes, he said, but I don't miss who I was when I needed it to be happy. If you've ever built your whole sense of yourself around one thing, a job, a skill, a title, maybe you already know how frightening it feels when that thing starts to slip away. But maybe, like Marcus, you'll find that underneath the thing you were so afraid to lose, there was always something steadier. Something that was never about winning at all. Sometimes we have to fall, just once, to finally feel what was holding us up the whole time.